Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Aditya here. Today we are going to continue our prompt engineering course where we are discussing about the next topic, that is prompts. So we are going to see what is prompt, and also we are going to see what are the different types of prompts available in generative AI world. So first we'll start with the question, what is prompt? So in simple terms, a prompt is nothing but an input to our model. Okay. And if you see this point, the input we will give to generative AI to generate the said output. That is nothing but whatever the input. For example, if you take ChatGPT, it is the text you have given to the ChatGPT and it will process and generate the desired output. So that is the prompt. Simple. And the prompt engineering, I think we have already seen what is a prompt engineering also. That is art and science of designing effective queries or instructions to get desired output. So the prompt engineering is the art and science. So as we know, it's like communication skills. You have to improve day by day, right? So simple terms, we can say designing effective queries or effective input to get the desired output. Okay. In other words, right? Even in its very simpler words, we are saying ask better questions to get better answers. If you ask a better question, then only you will get a better answer. Even though when it comes to humans also, if you didn't provide a better question, so they struggle to answer, right? They didn't understand what you are saying, so they will try to understand, and if sometimes they won't give you proper answer. When it comes to generative AI also you will get the same issue, so you have to ask better question, and we need to provide better context, better detailing, and better ask of exactly what we are looking for. These are generative AI models, which are not humans, right? Which understands different kinds of slangs or idioms or nuances, right? So you have to give better detailing, and also you have to be very straightforward instead of using some nuances and idioms, right? You have to provide better context setting what you are looking for. If you didn't provide that context, it is very hard for a generative AI model to give you a proper output. Even for humans also, if you didn't provide an better context, right, then it will be very hard to other person to answer, right? But when it comes to generative AI models, you need to be very concise, and you need to be very clear, right, what you are going to ask. So that is what I'm saying here. Ask for exactly what we are looking for. Okay. And now, when it comes to prompt engineering itself, we'll go into some hands-on now. Okay. So how we are going to do is we are going to give some generic questions and see what ChatGPT will answer. So here I'm using ChatGPT, but you can use whatever AI model available to you. So here I'm going to ask this generative AI model one question. I would say write an email to my manager. Okay. So it's a simple question. I am saying write an email to my manager. It's saying project updates and next step, and it's thinking about the context. It's thinking that we are updating about our project and next steps, right? It has given you structure or skeleton of an email. Since it's don't know about the context what I am going to ask, it has provided this thing. So now I am going to give some more detail to it. So I would say, right, I want to write a email to my manager regarding recent advancements in AI and requesting access to these tools for maximizing the productivity. Okay, so now I provided better detailing, right? I have provided the context why I am going to write mail to my manager, and also I am providing more details, right? Why we are going to use to maximize the productivity of workflow, we can say. Okay, So like that, I have provided context and also better detailing. Even craft this prompt in a very effective way, but in a simple terms, right? This is more effective prompt than the previous prompt. Previous prompt I'm saying write an email to my manager. But now I am providing whatever I'm looking for, right? Exactly, I'm asking what I needed. Now it will draft a mail to my manager like this. So request for access to advanced AI tools to enhance workflow efficiency, right? And also it has crafted a well defined message with so much of content. Look how much paragraphs is created, right? It is better than the previous one. Right? Previous one, we are not looking for any project updates. It has given some skeleton to us, but now it has filled all the details in this second prompt. That is this prompt, which is having more detailing, more context, right? So that was the difference between a good prompt and an prompt which don't have any context and detailing. So instead of ask specific questions, instead of generic, ask specific questions and length of the output. If we include more details in the prompt, model provides most desired output. I think we have already seen the second point. We asked instead of generic questions, we have asked specific question, right? And if we include more details in the prompt, model provides the most desired output. That is what we have seen in this previous hands-on. Okay. And specific details helps us to get desired output from the model. Definitely, we have specified the details in the previous example, right? We have given advancements of advancements in the AI. So that it was our specific detail, and I want to grant access to those tools. So I have requested my manager. And so then if you see the next point, so use prompt engineering to get more precise, creative, and domain specific answers. Definitely, right? If you use this prompt engineering and if you craft a well understandable and having more detailed prompt, right, which was more precise and also creative prompt, then we will get more precise and effective on creating and what are the domain specific details we are going to need. We are going to need it. We will get that answer. So here the domain in the previous example is AI. Okay, so why we need to add this more detailing, context setting, right? We can ask like a normal human, but it won't work like that because this generative AI models was trained on outside available data, right? And it has some common challenges. So if you see what are the common challenges, right? Model bias. Since trained on lots of outside available data, there could be model bias. For example, this should have if Apple mobile, right? Mac has more customer reviews than Android mobile. Then there will be a bias of this model, right? It will provide Apple as a best product. Otherwise, the model trained on a data which has good reviews on Samsung mobile, then it will suggest Samsung other than Apple, right? So that if you provide specific details, so what are the features you are looking for, like whether you are looking for a security, build quality, you are looking for the portability. So this kind of things, if you provide in detail, then model bias will be cleared, right? And unpredictability. So the generative AI is a natural language processing models would do best guesses from the trained data, so this can be unpredictable. That means this generative AI models is not doing any logical processing inside it. This generative AI models is going to do a guesses. So it's a best possible guess, right? It has trained on a lot of data, which has all the questions which are already available in it. And if any new questions, if we provide, it will try to compare with the earlier available data and do an best guesses, right? Best guesses and provide you an answer. So there will be some unpredictability also. If you provide better context and better detailing, it would be helpful to generative AI model also to arrive a best solution. And the next one is lack of real world knowledge, right? So if you didn't, if the model misses the real world knowledge, right? If you provide some knowledge to it, it will provide answers based on the knowledge you provided to it. Okay. So if most of the times you try to use latest models, so in that case, it will have the real world knowledge, up to date information. If it misses up to date information, you have to feed that information, and after that, you have to ask the question. So that is one more challenge. And the final thing is language and cultural nuances. That is nothing but if you are using some idioms or if you are using some slang, right, which is not a general one, then generative AI models was struggle to give you the desired output. So in that case, you have to give some straightforward questions, simple terms, simple English, instead of going with some nuances like raining cats and dogs. Literal interpretation is different, but the actual meaning is different, right? So better you should avoid these kinds of cultural and language and cultural nuances. So finally, so crafting a very well-defined prompt for input will help us to get more desired output. Okay, I think you have understand what is the important of a prompt engineering, right? Why we are discussing this much, right? You will think it's just an input text to ChatGPT, it will work. But yeah, you have to understand these all these things, right? This model bias, unpredictability, lack of real world knowledge, language, and cultural nuances. If you know about all these things only, you can able to provide better context, better detailing, and exactly ask what you are looking for, right? So that's why prompt engineering is very important when you are dealing with AI models to save a lot and a ton of your time. Okay, so if you move on, right, we have of these large language models. So these are the large language models available outside, which is Copilot, which will be available on the Edge browser, right, and also ChatGPT, which is openly available. You can go to OpenAI.com and write on. And also you have Google's Gemini, which is the Google's version of ChatGPT, and you have Bedrock, Amazon's Bedrock. So these are the different large language models available outside. So just list it down for your example. If you want to use any one of them, you can go ahead and use. And now we have seen what is a prompt and what is the importance of a prompt in prompt engineering. Now we'll look into anatomy of a prompt. So what is anatomy of a prompt? Before entering into it, we'll see how to create effective prompts. This is a question, right? For that, you need to add these points to your prompt. So if you add these points to your prompt, then it will be very helpful to the generative AI model to get your desired output. So how can it do it? So we'll look into it. So first one is add persona to it. So you have to add persona to it. What role should the model play? Like whether it's a daughter or whether it's a teacher or whether it's a software engineer, right? You have to add a persona it and instructions. The second step is you need to provide instructions. What should model do, right? You need to provide an unambiguous, clear, and concise instructions. And after that, you need to provide if you have any input context, you need to be provide that input. For example, you want to process a text, then you have to provide the text to be processed by the model and format. And finally, what format you want the output to be, right? So it should be requirements around the format for the output, if any. So if your output you want to be in tabular format or you want to be in any other format, you could use this format as an option. And the additional information, any other helpful context or background you can provide to your prompt. So if you add these points, it will make your prompt more effective, right? You have to add persona, instructions, input, and format, and any additional information. So this is the anatomy of a prompt. Now we'll see an example for this anatomy of a prompt. First thing is persona. For example, as a professional movie critic, right? I have added persona to my chat GPT or AI model. That is, you have to act as a professional movie critic, and instructions should be please write, right? And input should be like a review of movie Oppenheimer. So you can change these instructions and input content. So I just given as an example. And after that, we have format, that is the output format what you are looking for in a concise, compelling manner, focusing on plot, performance, and visual effects. Okay, that is the format we're asking for the generative AI model. And after that, any additional information. For example, avoid revealing major spoilers. So instead of revealing any major spoilers, only give me a review of the movie Oppenheimer. Okay, if you see this prompt, right, I have added a persona, instructions, and also input content. Even we have added format and additional information. So this is the anatomy of a prompt. Okay, so we have learned about what is a prompt and also what is an effective prompt, right? Anatomy of a prompt look like. So you can use this anatomy and write your own prompts. It will then you will get better output when compared to the prompts which you are using now, right? Without any context or persona instructions, format, whatever you are not mentioning, you are directly saying, give me some answer, and which won't work, right? It won't act as an professional movie critic. So if you mention professional movie critic, it will get the context, and from the instructions and input, it will get the details, and from the format, it will understand what your exact ask, and from the additional information, it will know what it has to skip, right? So by using this anatomy, you will craft a better prompt. Yeah, so that's it about this lecture. I'm going to stop this lecture here itself because we have covered prompt and anatomy of a prompt and different types of prompts we are going to cover in the next session. And thanks for watching my video. If you like this video, let me know in the comments, and like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching my video. Bye.